Take a look at your classroom during a typical lesson. Are your pupils leaning in and actively grappling with the material, or are they simply sitting back, passively receiving the information you deliver? To break out of that rigid, passive dynamic, you need to introduce structured autonomy. By the end of this tutorial, we are going to build a practical, ready-to-deploy voice and choice toolkit that you can use immediately. This toolkit consists of 3 specific components: a structured suggestion box, a multi-pathway learning menu, and a peer feedback loop. Before we begin, you will need 3 things: a lesson plan for next week, a blank text document, and a basic digital forms tool. This transition from passive reception toward active student agency represents a shift in how pupils relate to their own education. Step 1 is separating our 2 core concepts. On your blank document, create 2 columns: pupil voice on the left and pupil choice on the right. On the left, pupil voice is the mechanism students use to influence classroom culture and share perspectives on their school experience. Pupil choice on the right is their agency over producing work. Pulling back reveals both branches anchor to a central point. That center node is you. Offering options does not reduce your authority. It reframes your role as an expert facilitator who curates the boundaries of what students can select. Keeping a clear boundary between expressing an opinion and selecting an academic path ensures your students develop genuine ownership over their work without derailing the lesson. Now let's build the first tool: a dedicated channel to capture that student input. Open your digital forms tool or dedicate a physical Dropbox in your classroom. Add these 2 questions to your form. What topic should we explore for Inquiry Friday? And what book should we add to our class library? There is a strict rule here. If you ask for input, you must act on it. Collecting ideas and ignoring them will cause your students to disengage entirely. In a primary setting, you can channel this collaborative energy at the start of the year by having your pupils draft the democratic classroom codes. When children are allowed to articulate the rules themselves, they understand the reasoning behind those boundaries and are far more likely to respect them. Your suggestion box is only useful if the answers you collect directly result in an observable change in your classroom routine. Next, look at the lesson plan you brought. We are going to build a learning menu by taking your single learning objective and splitting the required assignment into 3 distinct options. For a primary classroom, you might ask students to demonstrate their understanding by writing a diary entry, drawing a labeled diagram, or delivering a short oral presentation. This diagram illustrates assessment pathways. An older student might prove they met the objective by choosing Path A for an essay, Path B for a documentary, or Path C for a viva voce. You must limit pathways to 3 to avoid choice paralysis. You know your menu works when a pupil can glance at the sheet, point to a single option, and immediately begin working independently. Anchoring different mediums to a single, fixed learning objective ensures you maintain academic rigor while giving students the space to lean into their individual strengths. The final tool targets the end of the lesson. You need to reduce your unilateral marking and implement a student-led feedback loop. Look at this before and after comparison. Take your dense grading rubric on the left and translate it into the streamlined, highly legible checklist on the right. Schedule exactly 10 minutes at the end of your lesson for students to pair up and use this checklist for peer-to-peer critique. By analyzing a classmate's work against a shared standard, your pupils train themselves to recognize exactly what a successful assignment looks like. This routine turns assessment from a static grade delivered by a teacher into an ongoing collaborative learning exercise. Your toolkit is now assembled. You have a dedicated channel for voice, a multi-pathway menu for choice, and a peered feedback system to evaluate the work. By establishing these consistent channels for student input, you ensure every pupil feels heard and valued within the classroom community. Providing this level of autonomy directly encourages students to find their own intrinsic motivation for the tasks at hand. Take the learning menu you drafted today, deploy it in a single lesson this week, and watch how the atmosphere in your room shifts.